Taiwan shoots down drone for first time off Chinese coast.
Here's a summary of the article.
Taipei, September 1. Taiwan's military shot down for the first time an unidentified civilian drone that entered its airspace near an islet off the Chinese coast on Thursday, after the government vowed to take tough new measures to deal with an increase in such intrusions. Beijing, which claims Taiwan as its own against the strong objections of the Taipei government, has held military exercises around the island since early last month in reaction to a visit to Taipei by U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Taiwan's government has said it will not provoke or escalate tensions but has been particularly angered recently by repeated cases of Chinese drones buzzing islands controlled by Taiwan close to China's coast. The Defense Command for Kinmen, a group of Taiwan-controlled islands opposite China's Xiamen and Quanzhou cities, said in a statement released by Taiwan's defense ministry that the drone entered restricted airspace over Lion Islet just after midday. Taiwan fired warning shots at a drone for the first time on Tuesday shortly after President Tsai Ing-wen ordered the military to take strong countermeasures against what she termed Chinese provocations. Speaking to the armed forces earlier on Thursday, Tsai said China was continuing to use drone intrusions and other gray zone tactics to try to intimidate Taiwan. Her office cited her as saying in a statement. Tsai again emphasized that Taiwan would not provoke disputes but that did not mean that it would not take countermeasures, the statement added.
This post received a score of 9,700, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Civilian drone. They said they would start doing it. The more interesting thing I think is that recently some folks from Kinmen decided to go, no you, and flew drones. Probably the same DJI Mavics, in the other direction, which I think is hilarious. There was also a story of one of the Chinese drone videos getting censored by the Chinese government because the guy filmed a ROC propaganda slogan.
Does that say 3 democracies with beautiful unity? The weird thing is one of my apps says that, the other says, China number 1.
The 3 principles of the people will unite China. The 3 principles of the people was the political philosophy of Sun Yat-sen, and was the official philosophy of the KMT. It remains part of the ROC constitution, although I don't think people really care about it anymore.
Thanks. Translation apps do a really bad job with Chinese it seems.
Usually they're fine, but they tend to have difficulties when someone is writing something vaguely poetic, which unfortunately is a lot of the time.
One of my favorite hobbies when I was a teenager was gawking at poetic idioms from other languages, translated literally. Like in France, a common pet name is my sweet flea.
Probably because we don't have any extra connotations for flea besides parasite, where in other languages it could. I can't think of any better examples except maybe cutie pie in English, but I think French indeed does have a lot of idioms similar to what you're saying. I was also very curious about idioms in other languages.
You know something is wrong when Newsweek has a less clickbait and more informative headline than Reuters lol.
What's wrong with UP? Taiwan's military for the first time shot down an unidentified civilian drone that entered its airspace near an islet off the Chinese coast on Thursday? Seems accurate. Also, it seems very plausible that the civilian-style drone was operated by the government. Who knows, but it is a tactic often used by the Chinese government. Just look at the fishing boat incidents in the South China Sea. Not a military-style drone, but it could easily be operated by the Chinese government, military much like Ukraine using many civilian-style drones.
My understanding is that it's often impossible to determine if an action was taken by a Chinese civilian or orchestrated by the CCP. They are known for ordering, incentivizing civilians to do their bidding, leaving them some deniability.
Yes, look at all the fishing vessels. They are civilian, but it seems obvious they are directed by the Chinese government and have been caught being trailed by smaller Chinese Navy ships.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.